Welcome everyone to 7 Minutes or Less, talking about the shows you love and want to get into. Today we will be talking about The Order, Season 1. And by God do I hope that there's a Season 2, because I can finally say with all of my heart that I watched a good show this time around. To give you some context, I just haven't had decent faith in these Netflix shows lately in the last few months because they were just long, drawn-out, boring pieces of work. The Punisher, Season 2, bored the hell out of me. The Umbrella Academy was decent, but ultimately the characters, pacing, situations came out as slowly paced, near bore-inducing experiences for me, and I wasn't fond of how everything gets grounded for the sake of realism. Then in steps the Order, and it was just what the doctor ordered. See what I did there? Seriously, I didn't realize that until after I wrote that sentence. I seriously don't know what is with creators of shows these days. They take away what made the source material great for the sake of budget, thought that the audience wanted something more real or gritty, that just ends up placing people into a room and just talking for an hour with little action or very little consequence to anything. If I wanted that, I'd probably find a few of my buddies, put them in a room for an hour, and then repeat that 12 more times throughout the week if I wanted a bunch of characters to sit around and talk about their feelings and a plot. But here the Order decides to blend the mix of fantasy, which pertains to magic, werewolves, and cults, and good old-fashioned revenge in this 10-episode season. And by God, did I love it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Did I love it, and restored my faith in feeling like there are some shows that don't sacrifice fun for the sake of realism, what is considered what people want, quote unquote. Because sometimes people want brutal adaptations, pure on fantasy, and the use of wit and personality to keep things going. But I'm getting ahead of myself and sadly going on a tangent. The Order is basically about a college student accepted in a fabled society called the Hermetic Order of the Blue Rose, and that resides in the college Belgrave University. Jack Morton, who is the student accepted in this secret society, has a sinister plan of his own along with his grandfather Pete Morton, who helps him along with this hell-bent seeking revenge against Edward Coventry, a man responsible for Jack's mother's death, who is also Peter Morton's daughter. Who Edward Coventry is within the Order, I won't give away, but you'll probably could piece together very well what his role is in this show fairly quickly. But as Jack searches deeper into the Order and gets some well-needed answers, secrets are unveiled, and he's pretty much getting well over his head. Magic is used for ultimate gain, people are killed, sarcasm flies, and battles between humans, werewolves, and necromancers will commence. There is a bit more to it than that, but seriously, despite my vent earlier about shows being so dull and boring by grounding the source material it's adapting, this show isn't adapting anything, I don't think. But that doesn't mean all adapted sources are dull or boring. I just mean as of late. And that certainly doesn't mean you listening or has to like this one or dislike what I dislike. If you liked Punisher Season 2 or Umbrella Academy, then more power to you. I just think there are adaptations and non-adaptations that have great pacing, good characterizations, and great characterizations while keeping things moving forward. I really enjoyed the show, and I feel by some measure of the imagination taking over as I write this to you, this might be one of those shows that you might have disliked considerably, but found what I had mentioned beforehand quite fine. It's a funny little world we live in, but I seriously couldn't think of a better show right now that held my attention, made me want to know more, and maybe kind of go, oh, let me get to the next episode as quickly as possible. But if anyone's listening who wants to share a show you'd like me to watch, please let me know down below if you get a second. All in all, this show does have a bit of familiarity to it in terms of formula, but while there is an endgame to Jack's plans, he meets others that have goals of their own. Not just the Orders, but another secret society that pertains to werewolves. 3 of them to be exact. And their stories marries into Jax's revenge plan and go against the Orders as well. But in terms of familiarity, this show does have a bit of Supernatural, the TV show. It also has an ever-constant problematic choice to consequences as The Magicians does. Always something going on, always a plan, and ulterior motives and personalities clash almost too frequently. Plus, the season is broken into 2-parters, focusing the goals and subplots of various different things happening on campus, which keeps things rather entertaining while you're waiting for the ultimate goal to be finally executed. Characters range from whiny, pretentious, bossy, annoying, determined, and the list just goes on and on. Jack Morton has a bit of all these streaks within him, but the one thing ruling him is his ability to adapt to the situations around him. Sure, he gets testy when things don't work out quite well, and he sort of whines to the outcome, but then he gets right back on the saddle and moves forward. The show gets really good when he's introduced to the werewolves, Hamish, Randall, and Lilith, who all have specific werewolf tendencies that really show when Jack interrupts their ways. I really enjoyed everything that pertained to them and hope they are back for a second season. But what good is a story and revenge tale without a little love in the mix? To say that this is a love story would be an understatement, but it works for the most part between Jack and Alyssa. A bit corny, a bit forced in some areas, but it works rather organically for the most part. Alyssa is a tour guide for the university and a medicum of the Blue Rose Order, which complicates things a bit as all stories go. Jack falls in love, and things get amplified for our heroes a bit when either one of them is threatened. But in all honesty, everyone looks like they're having a good time, especially that of Catherine Isabel as Vera Stone, a Chancellor of the Order of the Blue Rose. I had a hell of a time with this 10-episode season and want to see more. For that, I'm going to give The Order a good, solid B. Definitely check it out. I think it'll be worth your time, unless this doesn't sound like it's up your alley. Alright guys and gals, thank you so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed my review of The Order, Season 1. If you're new to my channel, check out what I do here. I create all sorts of stuff from TV show and movie reviews. Turn on those notifications if you are subbed or want to sub so you don't miss anything. Follow me on Twitter for the most recent updates and random thoughts on movies and TV shows. And with that all said, I hope you all have a fantastic and wonderful day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.